Hi boys and girls, it's Thursday math time and we're going to start our lesson with looking at some clocks. And I want you to look at this clock and I want you to think about what time it is. I want you to think about that, tell somebody, or if you're by yourself, just think about it or tell your pet or stuffed animal what time is it. Okay, so just to review, the hour hand is the shorter red hand, and the minute hand is the long blue hand. And if you said that the clock shows 1 o'clock, you are correct. Okay, let's try another time. Okay, what time is it now, boys and girls? That's right, 6 o'clock. How about now? Very good, 8 o'clock. How about now? Okay, as you can see, the minute hand moved this time, and the minute hand, which is our long hand, is on the 6. Okay, look at the hour hand, it's in between the 8 and the 9. Okay, so if you said it was 8:30, you are correct. Okay, let's try another time. What time is it now? That's right, it's 11:30. How about now? Good, 3 o'clock. And now? That's right, it's 3:30. Okay, we're gonna jump into our lesson for today, and today we're going to be learning more about bar graphs. And today we are going to make some bar graphs. So let's look at our Go Math book. So remember, I'm going to teach you the lesson, and then you're going to go online. You're gonna go to My SDS, you're gonna go to Go Math, and then you're gonna go to your to-do, and today you're doing the 2 lessons for 10.4. Okay, so remember, a bar graph is a graph that uses bars. So far we've learned about picture graphs and bar graphs. We know a picture graph uses pictures to show the data, and a bar graph uses bars. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make a bar. Sometimes the bars go across, sometimes the bars go up and down. Or they actually go down to up, bottom to the top. So the graph we're going to make today is using the food that you see at the top of the page. You see hot dogs, tacos, and pizza. And the title of the graph is Food Sold at the Soccer Game. Okay, here we have kinds of food, that's our categories. We have pizza, hot dogs, and tacos. And then our key is number of food items sold. Okay, so we're gonna cross that, we're gonna count, and we're going to count the number of each item, and then we're going to make that into a bar, okay? So we're gonna start at the top with pizza. Okay, so let's count our pizza. I'm gonna cross them out as I go so I don't recount. So we have 1, 2, 3 slices of pizza. Okay, so I'm going to color 3 of these rectangles, and that's going to make a bar, like that. Okay, and I'm going to color that in. And when I look at the end of the bar, it's going to line up with 3, because we have 3 pieces of pizza. Okay, next I'm going to count my hot dogs. I'm going to cross them out as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I'm going to make a bar that goes all the way to the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to color in my bar. Okay, now I'm going to do my tacos. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to make a bar that goes all the way to the 4. I'm going to color in my bar. Sorry, it's kind of messy because the book is leaning up against my computer so you can see it. Okay, so now I could ask you some questions about the graph. Which food item had the most sales? So you're going to look at your bar graph and you're going to look at the bar that is the longest. And we can see that hot dogs were sold the most. Which one had the least sales? Okay, good. Pizza. We can see that bar is the smallest. And then I could ask you how many food items in all were sold. If we wanted to do that, we would add up the 3 categories. So 3 pizza plus 5 hot dogs, that's 8. And plus 4 tacos, how much would that be? 8 plus 4? That's right, 12. All right, let's look at the next page. We're gonna make some more bar graphs. Okay, so let's look at the top, and it says, are there more, there's different types of flowers. Looks like daisies and sunflowers. Are there more daisies or sunflowers in the garden? Make a bar graph to find out. Shade 1 box for each flower in the picture. So let's look at our picture. Let's count our daisies first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm gonna color in 5 boxes for daisies. They already did 1 for us. Okay, 1, so I'm gonna color in 4 more. 2, 3, 4, okay, so that bar goes to 5. Now I'm gonna count my sunflowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna shade in 7 of my boxes. Okay, so let's look at our data. We can look at our graph now, and we have something to fill in. It says there are more blank in the garden. Okay, so which one has more, daisies or sunflowers? Okay, easy peasy. We can look at our graph, and it shows us that sunflowers there are more sunflowers in the garden. Okay, so I'm gonna write sunflowers. Let's look at our next one. Okay, so the next couple graphs, I'm gonna make up some data because I don't have 10 people to ask. So it says, do more children write with their left hand or right hand? Ask 10 friends which hand they use, make a bar graph. Well, I'll use, everybody in my family is a right-hander, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's think about, and then I have to add 6 more people because I don't have 10 people in my house. All right, so I'm gonna color in 4 right hands for my family. And let's just say, I'm gonna ask my 2 neighbors, and they're both right-handers. And then I asked my neighbors on the other side, and they have 4 left-handers in their house. So I'm just making up my data to make a graph. You could ask your family what hand they use to write. Okay, so let's look at our data, and it says, which hand do more children use to write? And think about it for a minute, look at your data. That's right, right hand, so we're gonna write that there. Okay, next we are going to make another graph. One more, oops. All right, so it says, do children like bears, blocks, or marbles best? And it says ask 10 friends which toy they like best. And then it says make a bar graph, write a title and labels for your graph. So let's start with a title. What do you think would be a good title for our graph if we have to ask friends which toy they like best? Do you think that favorite toy would be a good title? I think that would be good. So I'm gonna write that. Okay, favorite toy. Now for my labels, those are my toys, bear, block, or marbles. So I think a good label would just be toys. Okay, so I'm writing that, I wrote that there. And down at the bottom, I have to fill in my label at the bottom. And so these numbers stand for the number of children. So I'm going to write number. I'm sorry, this is so messy, guys. It's hard to hold the phone and write. So number of children. Okay, and again, I'm gonna make up my data because I don't have 10 people to ask right now. But you could ask the people in your house and think about it. You could even make your own graph. That would be something fun to do. All right, so let's say 3 people chose bear. And let's do 5 chose blocks. And that would leave, so we have 5 plus 3, that's 8. So I need 2 more. My last 2 people chose marbles. All right, so let's look at our data. And it says which toy did the most children choose? And we can easily look at our table and say, that's right, blocks. How many children chose blocks? Well, we're gonna line up our finger, if we forgot, line up our finger at the end of the bar, look at the number below, which is 5. Okay, our last question says, how are picture graphs and bar graphs alike? So think about that. I want you to tell somebody, how are picture graphs and bar graphs alike? Okay, so to follow up with our lesson today, remember you're gonna go to Go Math online, MySCS, go to your to-do list, and you are doing the 2 lessons for 10.4 today. Also do 10 minutes of iReady Math, and you're going to answer 10 questions on IXL and ask your parents what lesson on IXL. It's in the email that I sent to them. I'll see you tomorrow for our reading lesson. Bye, guys.